Hey guys, it's been a while since I've been, face on screen talking to you on this YouTube channel for, oh my goodness, I can't even remember the last time that was the case. But here we are, and I've got another update video for you. It's been a while since we have one of those too. And it's a major update. Not all of you that watch the content that sporadically gets put up here watch my Twitch streams. Or follow me closely on social media, even though, of course, you should be. Why wouldn't you? I'm such an interesting individual. So I needed a way to let you guys know what is next, what is coming up. And there's some pretty big changes happening that I know some of you would have wanted to know about because you thankfully enjoy my review content, for example. So let me just... I'll try and make this as short as possible, but if you know me, I can ramble a bit, but I'll try and be as concise as I can. I'll start with this. You need to go to the link that's in the description, and I might even pin it in a comment or something at the top of this video for the new YouTube channel specific to my YouTube, or not my YouTube, my review content. Sorry. So. I made the decision a few months ago now that I wanted to separate the review content from my personal brand because I thought that if in the future, if I can really turn this into something where I would like to bring on other freelance writers, other content creators to do projects or articles, etc., that it would be best if it wasn't just directly tied to me personally under the umbrella of War Council Gaming, and so in order to do that, well, I needed to do a little bit of work on a rebrand and come up with something that would be able to stand on its own. As such, Critiqal Hit was born. It's Critiqal Hit with a Q in the middle. It's not a C, because we have to make it unique, and also the .com is cheaper. And also available. But yeah, it's Critiqal Hit. It's a mixture of critique and, of course, critical hit from gaming and critical hit as in, a critical hit with critics, for example. Sometimes I like to think I'm clever. Nobody actually cares about that kind of stuff, but I put in the effort anyway, and hopefully you guys like it. Yeah, so you can click, and you're gonna want to subscribe and hit the bell icon and everything on that channel if you want to see the video review content pop up in your feeds. There's been a drought of content in that regard as of late because this is what's been happening. So Nikki, our absolutely legendary web developer, has offered to completely rebuild the website from the ground up to get us away from using WordPress as a foundation because there were a lot of hurdles we were running into using WordPress to do what we wanted to do, and it was kind of dragging things out. As soon as I mentioned to him that I was thinking about rebranding, he got excited and he said, "Oh, please, let's rebuild this thing. Let's do it right." And so that's what we're doing. It'll be criticalhit.com. Right now that will just redirect you to War Council Gaming, but criticalhit.com is going to be the new home of all of my reviews. And more! So I thought while I was making this announcement, and while you guys have already, I'm sure, gone and hit the subscribe and bell icon for the new YouTube channel that I provided links to in the description and possibly top comment in this video as well, why not show you guys what the website in its work in progress form looks like. So this is a program called Figma that Nikki recommended that I design the website in to send to him to make his life easier, and so I built the design doc in Figma. Lots of people were asking me what the program was whenever I was live streaming this, so I thought I might as well mention that as well. This is the new homepage, or what will be the new homepage, or some proximity of this. I kept some of the design language from the old site, but then just kind of cleaned it up, of course, and changed some things as well. And I wanted to show you some new functionality that we're hoping to build in to the site. First and foremost, of course, is all of the content that you would normally get at the top of the page. Game news, of course, is still going to continue to be there, fed by N4G, which is a a website that brings in content from small publications like ours and bigger publications, news pieces, etc., etc. It all just gets populated there. Then we're gonna have an upcoming games calendar. I really wanted to have something like this for games, not just any games, but like at least games that a lot of people or enough people were looking forward to, or perhaps would look forward to. Notable stuff, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. And so the calendar will be here, and it will go. I think we're trying to shoot for 3 or 4 months at a time, and you'll be able to scroll across to see all those things. And then if you click on one of these bubbles, which you'll see these blue and red bars above them, you'll get a breakout of more information from it. We're hoping to get a trailer in there if one is provided for the game at that point, as well as the platforms and whatnot. And then at the bottom here, critics. Critics are you guys. It's the community name for the review content. Critics. You guys will be able to upvote or downvote. This is the plan anyway. Upvote or downvote on these upcoming games to say whether or not, are you looking forward to this? Are you not looking forward to this? Maybe you don't think it's all that hot. And it gives you guys perhaps the hope is it gives you guys the ability to see other people in the community reacting to these things coming up, maybe some of these games you don't know anything about, and at a glance, it'll let you know what other people in the community are thinking about these titles. I thought that was kind of a neat idea to add on to the calendar kind of aspect, and so that's what's there on the upcoming games. Next up is top-rated games. Top-rated games are actually going to be pulled from OpenCritic. And if you don't know about OpenCritic is similar to Metacritic, but specific to games. At least at this time, I don't recall if they're more than that at the moment, but that's where we're going to be pulling our information from for this. And it will show in any given calendar year, the rolling 12 months. It's not just January 1st to December 31st. Any 12-month period, the top games. I haven't decided if it's going to be 10 or 20, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then similar to that, you guys are going to be able to provide your own scores. Maybe you've played these games and you want to provide your own scores. The scores are, of course, based on our review system, so it's 5 stars instead of a number-based system. And then also, I wanted people to be able to pick badges like I do for my reviews. So again, the idea of badges, if you didn't understand the concept of the badge system that I came up with, was specifically to give shine to parts of a game that perhaps the game isn't a 5 out of 5, but it's got really good writing, or it's got great characters, or good music. And so maybe if somebody isn't so worried about other parts of a game, but they really want great characters or great music, well, then the badge helps denote that, but it still allows the 5 stars to stand on their own to show as an overall package what the game is like. You can choose those badges that we have. We have 12 badges as it stands in the system. You can select those badges and then submit your scores, and then this will end up at the bottom of the main card and show everyone what the top badges are and what the score is, the aggregate score for our website. So it will give you what critics are saying about it from OpenCritic, and then what our community is saying about it at the bottom with the critic score. Same here, idea, most view on Twitch. Now, you know that I'm a streamer, and Twitch is where my stream is at this time, and has been for many years. And it's also currently the where most people would go if they wanted to know what was popular to watch, right? And so we have the top viewed on Twitch, or most viewed on Twitch, and then also shows in this 3 to 7 day average how much up or down the viewership went. So in this case, I just was copy and pasting Tarkov. This was real data at the time. Tarkov had been up in this 3 day to 7 day period 314% in their viewer averages going up across the site. That's a huge leap. So it's kind of neat to see that kind of stuff. And then you guys can upvote or downvote whether or not you think that these are actually entertaining games to watch, or maybe it completely depends on the person playing the game and not just the game itself. But these were just kind of some interactive elements that we were hoping to give you guys the ability to kind of curate some things, to give you and others that use the site, you know, within our community. The ability to see what your tastes are and what, you know, like some usually like-minded people might be thinking, so that you can get a better idea yourself. So that's the home page out of the way. And of course, mostly reviews. I plan on adding editorials and possibly some preview stuff, but editorials at the very least to the list of things that I can do on the website. Right now, the website was only really configured for reviews, but we're going to do editorial stuff as well, so that there's something happening in the industry that I wanted to cover or talk about, give my opinion on, whether it's an opinion piece or an actual editorial. I can do that. Great. So the review page will look something like this anyway, something close. Very similar if you've already seen the website as it stands, kind of a similar concept. This will work a bit better on mobile than the current website, more or less, but it also will look, in my opinion, a bit better on desktop as well. Same idea, you're going to get your information right at the top. If you just want to look at a review at a glance, you're going to get the star score, you're going to get the information on the game itself, you're going to get the tagline of the review, and of course, the badges that once, you know, this website's built, you can hover over and you can remind yourself or learn what each of these badges are and what they represent. The video review, of course, is always going to be there. I'll continue to do video reviews for as many or all the reviews as I can, and they'll be at the top of the page there. And as well as audio reviews. Now, on the current site, there was like a tab to go back and forth between audio and video, but for the purposes of making things seem a bit more sensible, I decided to put the audio at the top of the actual written review for listening to the article. I don't know what we can do for accessibility on the website, but I want to try and do something to help with that portion of my audience. I don't know exactly how that's going to work yet. But I'm going to try and talk to Nikki about what we might be able to make happen. But that's also why I always wanted to do video reviews, written reviews, audio reviews, cater to as many of you guys as I can. So down the page here, of course, I have to plug the fact that Patreon is there, and to join the critics, we don't put ads on the website. And the website's not cheap to run, but of course, we don't get any free copies of games that we review. I buy all of the games that we review, and that's also why the reviews can sometimes be much later to the party than everyone else, because we're, you know, waiting to have the game released, buy it and play it, you know, as close to launch date as possible, but to get an idea of what the experience is that buyers would be getting, and not necessarily just review copies. Also, it means that I don't have to necessarily rush through things. It does hurt exposure on YouTube substantially when we're late to the party like that, but I prefer to have as close to an untainted experience and not feel like people are thinking that, you know, we got, you know, bought out, or we're trying to give a more favorable review so that we continue to give free copies of games, etc., etc. So we avoid all of that. So the Patreon is the driving revenue for all of this stuff. It's everything. So whatever that Patreon account is pulling in is essentially, at this time anyway, everything that the site brings in for revenue. And so any and all patrons that show up and sign up there is a huge deal. So I had to keep that there, of course, towards the top of the page. Paper Mario the Origami King. So here you go. The written review is here. And you can listen to this article at the top. You'll be able to listen to it just like you could before. And of course, you'll be able to go to the SoundCloud, which, like everything, and I'll get to that afterwards, the names have changed for all of that to be specific to Critical Hit. They're not new pages. The YouTube page is the only new page, but I will give you those. And the links, of course, will be in the description of this video. So the written review is here. I decided to, you know, truncate it, because if you know me, some of my reviews can get, like this video, lengthy, and you don't necessarily, if you're not looking for reading the review, maybe you just wanted to get to the comment section or whatever, or you've listened to the article and you just want to go down or watch it and want to scroll down the page, you don't need to see it there. So I truncated it with a continue button for those who enjoy reading the content. Below that is the sign up, of course, the form for getting updates from the site, which is usually just whenever a new review or a new piece of content is released, or if there was for some reason some really major update that we needed to let people know about. That's all that's used for at this time. I can't even imagine what else I'd use it for in the future. But and then of course more stuff from other reviews or other pieces of writing. And then at the very bottom here, this was the other thing, similar to the home page. So every game that is reviewed on the site, at the bottom here, you will be able to give your own score. If you've played the game and you want to give your own score, then you can do just that. It's there. Of course, this isn't, vetted like Steam or something where you have to be like, I think Steam has this now where you have to own the game before you can review it at this point. But the idea is at the very least that within reason, this will mean that people have played the game to some extent and want to give their opinion on it with the 5-star rating system and of course the badges as well. Just like the home page, if you were to click add your rating, this box changes, allows you to put your stars in, select your badges, add your rating, and it gets added to the aggregate at the bottom of all of the review pages. And then of course there'd be a comment section down here as well, which just isn't in the doc because I didn't really feel like mimicking a comment section for the sake of showing that there'd be one there. Next up is the editorial pages. Looks a lot like the other ones, except there's unlikely to be video for this. If there are videos, then we can always plug one in. It will look a little bit more like this page. But in general, I think for the editorial stuff, it is unlikely to have video content so much as just have the written portion, and I will do my best to also do voiceover for all of these articles as well, as they come out. So otherwise, the pages are pretty much exactly the same with the patron plug, the listen to the article itself, more stuff, and then of course the comment section. That's all there is to it, nothing particularly fancy. But I also didn't want the page to be completely overwhelmed because I can't stand going to a website and have it looking like Liberace's breakfast. Last page is just the archive page. This subject to change as well, but for now this is just if you were to go to the archive page for reviews or editorials or whatever, this is loosely what it would look like with the search bar and all that shenanigans. Nothing too fancy in that regard. And that's it. That's where we're at with the site right now in terms of the design. I mean, obviously there's a couple of other pages, but nothing that needed to be worked out design-wise. I took, I don't know how long this took me. This took me a while. I spent a long time designing this. Hopefully you guys are liking the direction of the design. And hopefully you're excited about this new direction in general. So, if you've made it all the way to the end of this portion of the video, it means that you're probably relatively engaged, and I will now give you the links verbally and otherwise. So, again, YouTube link for the new YouTube channel for the reviews in the description below. I will still be posting stuff from my stream here, so if there's highlights or whatever that ends up getting done from my streaming stuff, it will be here on this YouTube channel, but anything Critiqal Hit will be on the Critiqal Hit YouTube channel. It's now patreon.com/Critiqal Hit, and so you can go over there now instead of the War Council Gaming branding. It's now entirely Critiqal Hit. And again, it's Critiqal Hit with a Q in the middle. Don't get too confused by that. Hopefully, I made it relatively obvious with the logo. I hope. I don't know. And yeah, beyond that, I mean, what is there? SoundCloud.com/Critiqal Hit as well. If you want to sign up for the RSS feed for just the audio portion, so maybe you just want to get that into your podcast app or whatever. I put all of them on SoundCloud for that purpose. You can sign up there and receive it in your podcast RSS that way. My goodness. From there, it's twitter.com/Critiqal_Hit. Same on Instagram. So I haven't 100% figured it out yet, but what I want to also try and do here is have like 1 minute or whatever the video limit is for Instagram and Twitter, versions of the reviews if I can, just to help try and get the word spread a bit more. Maybe people are more engaged with just short content on those social platforms. So I'm going to try. I don't know how I'm going to do it. We're going to try. So if you want, you can follow those accounts as well. and you'll be critical hit out of your mind. So once I guess I'll take this opportunity again to thank everyone who's been part of the Patreon up to this point, despite the fact that other than bursts of reviews, I haven't been able to be super consistent with it. Maybe this explains why. And the reason, again, that this is all happening is so that hopefully this project, this work will evolve into something that allows me to expand it and bring other people into the fold and create something that kind of stands on its own. And I hope you guys are as excited about trying to do that as I am. That's it. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments. You know I read every friggin' YouTube comment anyway. So you leave it in the comments. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Otherwise, again, all the links will be in the description below. And, if you've got other people, once this is all launched and settled, and you've got other people that are the types that like to watch a review or read a review or whatever before purchasing a game or whatever, or they're just interested in perhaps something that I'm producing, sharing it is always much appreciated. You guys have been legends with that anyway, sticking around for as long as you have. Again, thank you. This channel will still be active just with non-review stuff, all the review stuff on the Critical Hit YouTube channel. And I will keep you guys abreast of everything else through my socials, which I guess I'll also link below if you want to follow me there if you haven't already. Until I see you guys again, thank you so much. I hope you're all happy and healthy and safe out there in the madness that we've been enduring for the last calendar year or so. Yeah, until I see you again, have a good one, guys.